Don't be. In this 30-second episode, we are going to touch upon the puzzling secret. The puzzling secret, which is really an open secret, and yet hardly anyone keeps it in his mind. We shall see the Upanishad revealing that on higher levels, it's not by doing, but letting go of our vasanas to do, that blesses us with peace. It's not by eating, but by fasting that our health improves. It's not by talking too much, but learning to be silent at times. It's not by hitting the bed whenever we feel tired, but it is through carefully checking whether the body really needs rest or the mind has got attached to the comfort of the bed. The list is very long. On a lower plane, we are told to do this, eat well, eat enough, talk properly, learn communication, attend ways to speak better, dress well, be active, have a lot of friends, have hundreds, if not thousands of friends on Facebook and Instagram and this and that. That is what is told to us. And we do it, and it's not totally false. When we eat well, we exercise well, we have many friends, we travel, we go places, and speakers like me go on various platforms and give lectures. Yes, it is true that there is a certain sense of, aha, I am doing well. But as we get more mature, we find that all this, do that, etc., has serious limitations. Upanishads are known for higher levels of intelligence. We're going to talk about higher level of intelligence. And therefore, this is not so much of dharma vichara, a little bit yes, but this is straight away moksha vichara. You want to be liberated? Don't say, I don't care for liberation. I want a better job. If you say that, sorry, you are yet to mature in life. Nobody says don't go for a job. But if you think that going for a job solves your problems, having wealth solves all your problems for the rest of life, so on and so forth. If you think so, you are yet in a dream. I read a quote this morning. When you have truly changed, really you have not changed. When you have truly changed, you have woken up. Upanishads are about waking up. And in this episode, we shall see a mantra which we took in the very beginning of this series of Upanishad mantras. A set of 3 mantras we saw very much in the beginning of the 2 birds on the same tree. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samana vriksham parishasvajate tayoranya pippalam swadvatti anashnan anyo abhichākasheeti. And two more mantras we have, but in this very first mantra, this evening's episode will focus on just the fourth line. Anashnan anyaha abhichākasheeti. Ashnan means eating, and in the larger sense of the term, Ashnan means going there, getting this, traveling abroad, get various qualifications, as though a PhD is not enough. Go do postdoctoral. Let all your relatives and friends and people in your old town envy you. Let all of them imagine that you are the most accomplished, and it may give you certain kick. But Ashnan has its problems. 999 out of 1,000 people who did PhD, double PhD, postdoctoral, and held all kinds of various positions, offices, etc. Go close to them, they have a story to tell you. They have their heartburns. They have their lack of peace. They are wondering where they went wrong. I am not being pessimistic here. Please do not imagine all this Vedanta. Ultimately, he is very pessimistic. It cannot see anything good in life. If you say so, my humble submission is you have not woken up. You are in a dream. In the rat race, every rat is very optimistic, running faster and faster. Though I am behind, I will very soon make it, and even now I have some chance of winning this rat race. All these rats, including the one who wins, is in a rather unenviable situation. Anashnan anyo abhichākasheeti. Shankaracharya translates abhichākasheeti as pashyati, sees, beholds, watches quietly. He just uses the very simple Sanskrit word pashyati for abhichākasheeti. But I guess, I'm not sure, I don't know Sanskrit so much. Abhichākasheeti, I guess, has something to do with prakasha. For kash becomes kasha. Kashate, prakashate, and kash probably reduplicates. Chakasheeti. So whether it means that or this translation shines is not exactly the right one. Pashyati itself has the significance of being full of light, full of peace, full of brightness. For to see is to be in light. Not to see is to be in darkness. Anashnan anyaha abhichākasheeti. Next time you are under some stress, next time you are feeling lost, meditate on this one line. Anashnan anyo abhichākasheeti. I will have all peace, all light. I will have the greatest resplendence on my face, in my mind, if I do anashnan. Not by getting the PhD that this lady has or acquiring the 5-bedroom house that that man has. not by settling in Singapore as one cousin of mine did, or not by becoming a senator in America, like one of my distant relatives has achieved. Will I ever come anywhere near being a senator? Will I ever have a 5 bedroom house? Will I ever have a PhD in this life? All this is ashnan. Acquire, collect, put another feather on your cap, wear a crown if you like. Upanishad plainly says all you need really for your true happiness, lasting happiness, for peace is anashnan. Upanishads are not against anybody having a PhD or building a 5 flat. Upanishads are not talking about what you do, what you finally get outside. These degrees, these houses, these foreign, residence in a very, very rich city, or all this glamour of life, they actually come because of your purva karma. If you are destined to be in a spacious flat in Manhattan or Tokyo, anybody would envy, let us say. That is your karma. But your freedom, your enjoying peace is through jnana, is through an extraordinary seeing, abhichākasheeti, pashyati. Anashnan, it has nothing to do with acquiring, possessing. It is all about through the eyes of wisdom, you must let go. Tyage naike amritattvamanashu. Tyagat shantihi anantaram. So in this context, let's see the last line of the first mantra of the first khanda of the third Mundaka. Let me share. I was going to make 10 or 12 slides. Then I said, let go. Let go. I let go of 7 slides. And I'm so much at peace, I tell you. So even don't go for too much material, too much information, unless it is your swadharma. A friend of mine in Bhopal has been having certain stress. He is a well-accomplished man. And he has been going to a psychiatrist. And interestingly, the psychiatrist said to him, Mr. Reddy, keep doing what you have been doing. But Reddy said, no, doctor, I want to stop many of my activities. These multiple activities are causing a lot of stress to me. I thought you would ask me to reduce. The psychiatrist apparently was very wise. He said, yes, I would have said this to many others, but not to you, Mr. Reddy, because this is the 10th session you have come to me for counseling, and I have totally understood you. Your joy lies in studying, in giving talks, in helping people. Therefore, don't abruptly stop anything. Just be observant. If you really feel, if your inner voice says a particular activity is not aligned with your swadharma, then let go of it. I'll give you an example. Some of you may be reading books. You love reading books. But you sometimes come under some stress. That, oh my, I collected all these beautiful books and I have not read them. I must read all this. Where will I find time? you may get a little stressed. Then you see a classmate of yours who doesn't read any book at all, and in your eyes he looks peaceful. In your eyes, God knows whether he really has peace. But you think that that man is happy. If you imitate that man and stop reading, you will not be happy like him. You will be more sad than what you are. So never move away from Swadharma. Swadharme nidhanam shreya. Now, what about this pain in me that I bought so many books and haven't read even one of them? Don't worry about that quantity. Don't worry about some number of hours a day, etc. Those books are your treasure. Read a few pages of this book one day and say, wow, very nice. Read 2 pages of another book another day. Don't judge yourself saying, oh, I haven't read all these books, what a shame on me, and so on. And as I said before, if your conscience says certain activities are not made for you, you are not cut for them, that is paradharma. Paradharmo bhayavaha. So even this lecture this evening or this morning in the West is not of the nature of instruction. Let go, leave it, leave it. No, no, no. Don't generalize like that. Vedanta hardly says do or don't. Vedanta wakes you up. Vedanta asks you to be more aware of what you are doing. Are you doing something to impress people? Are you doing something because everybody else is doing? Are you doing something though you don't need it really? So, is there some pretending, some imitation? An author I read long back said, in modern society, the main reason for stress is pretending. Somebody who is not much educated pretends to be educated. And because he pretends well, people call him for giving lectures. And he is not so much educated, he doesn't have much scholarship. He cannot, preparing for that lecture is stress. And delivering the lecture also makes him nervous. All because he pretended to be a scholar and sought invitations and places called him. Oops. So, Swadharma, find out what is your heart's longing. Of course, suppose you feel you are lazy, examine. Are you really lazy or you have some medical issue? Do you have some vitamin deficiency? Is it biological or is it psychological? Vedanta helps you take a second look at your own self-judgments. So here we have the first slide, the puzzling secret of Mundaka Upanishad. While the whole world believes, eat well and be healthy, the fourth line literally taken means fast, do not eat and shine, fast and be healthy. This is a literal meaning. In the very next slide, we are going to tell you what actually this do not eat, anashnan means. The higher meaning and a lower meaning will all be taken up. So anashnan, not eating, anyaha, the other, the second bird, shines. Sees, shines, is happy, is free of worries. Mundaka Upanishad 3.1.1. Second bird, he doesn't eat, but greatly shines. How can that be? Because now we go to the meaning. Do not eat on a higher plane of the Vedanta means let go of doership. In fact, as you withdraw more and more into Swadharma, your heart's calling, what your nature is, and within the scope of your nature, there is plenty you can do of service to others, of good to yourself. People don't realize that. Within your scope of Swadharma, they think, my Swadharma will, on one hand, leave me poor. On the other, I won't be doing much for my society. Who said that? In so many professions, so many ways of living, in the cities or in the villages, on the mountains or by the river, abroad or in your own home country, countless cases exist where somebody went for a way of living, a certain profession which society did not approve much. But if this person had discovered his true calling, within a couple of years, he feels, the best decision I took was not to be just carried away by mass psychology. I found my calling, I went for it. All this is age-old wisdom. Upanishads have given this wisdom in a wonderful way, connecting with the metaphysics of non-duality, Advaita, Atmajnana, and so on, but without realizing that they are getting closer to Atmajnana. Some great people have said these things in a different context. Steve Jobs, when he spoke to graduating students in Stanford University, gave an inspiring talk, and especially a certain sentence he said became so widespread. Stay hungry, stay foolish. One line he said, stay hungry, stay foolish. That goes with anashnan. For example, the students who passed from Stanford, or in India we have IITs, IIMs, and AIIMS, and all those prestigious schools. If from those schools or colleges or universities, girls and boys pass and simply see who got the maximum salary in previous batches, I will apply to that company. And a lot of these seniors went to UK, USA, Dubai, and Singapore. I'll go there. If they go by that herd mentality and join some corporations, MNCs, multinational companies, yes, they may get a big paycheck and this and that. Steve Jobs makes it very clear in his lecture, in the talk he delivered. I pity those people who, seeing only one salary or some kind of material dimension, forget that life is much more than that. Don't be surprised if their marriages don't go well. Don't be surprised if they don't have a happy, peaceful life really. So many problems. So he said, stay hungry, stay foolish. Indirectly, he is saying, go for your true calling. And for the sake of going for that true calling, suppose you need to at times be hungry, it's all right. Things will fall in place. Have patience. If for the sake of going for the true calling of your heart, people call you fool, and therefore in their eyes you are foolish, stay foolish. Let them call you fool. But be clear, don't do anything out of some madness. That's where Vedanta uses the word viveka. Viveka purvakaha tyagaha bhavet. Letting go of a job, letting go of a higher standard of living, letting go of some position, some fame, name, letting go of a nice situation in city and saying, I think I'll go to village. Mindlessly you go to village, you also will lose your peace. The villagers will not have peace after you. Everybody will be in trouble. Then you say city was better. Avivekapurvakam tyagaha na kartavyaha. Be anashnan, one who doesn't eat out of viveka. What is viveka? Carefully examining and seeing and being very honest to yourself. Not jumping to either this side or that side in a hurry. So the higher meaning is, do not get into samsara, be free. And in the Vedanta, uncompromisingly, you will truly be free only when you let go of the very sense of doership. When you take your swadharma, when you put your heart and soul into it, in fact, you will not feel you are doing. Hey, thing is happening. There's a famous book, some of you know, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a professor of psychology of Chicago, long back wrote. The book is titled The Flow. The Flow. So Professor Mihaly, in a wonderful academic language, writes about how when you are at the right place, whether the society respects it or not, whether there is all that fancy income or not, you must get what is needed. That's different. Fancy income is not necessary. In your work, you are in a state of flow. In a state of flow, things are flowing. You don't even know you are doing. He gives examples of somebody who loved mountaineering and took up challenges which were just adequate, not over challenged, meeting with an accident, or under challenged where he feels bored. When adequately challenged, the young man or the young woman is climbing a mountain and it's so exciting. She is so happy. She, in fact, very attentively does it, but there is something inside her which is so different. It is as though religious people would call it as though a divine force is making her climb more and more and more. It can be laboratory work for a scientist, mountaineering for this kind of person. It could be swimming, it could be running a house, it could be whatever it is. Flow. That book sold like hotcakes. Even professors of psychology even now quote it. Book Flow by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi says this. The flow has become a part of the language with a special idiomatic, special meaning to it. The higher meaning is let go of doership. In Bhakti Marga, it is through true devotion, surrender to true devotion. Secondary meaning could have many dimensions. Reduce your egoism because letting go of egoism fully is next to impossible for vast number of people. So reduce your egoism. Learn to let go of insistence. Buddhehe phalam tu anagraha. There is a saying, I don't know where. It's a famous saying. Buddhe phalam tu anagraha. Agraha means insisting. If I say at midnight how bright the outside is, it must be 4 p.m. now. My wife should agree. Yeah, it is so bright. I too don't understand. Let's go back to sleep. Then I am at peace. If my wife says, what bright? It's so dark there. At 4 a.m., I fight with my wife. You never agree with me. This is the problem with us. At least once for a change, you should agree that it is so bright outside. For my sake, you spoil her sleep also. Agraha means insisting. You find out in what ways you insist in life. For yourself, not just for others. Making some strange rules for oneself and then suffer. I believe in Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Mumbai, much before I joined. There was a certain batch where one boy had come and joined, had become a brahmachari, studying Vedanta. But one thing strange about him was, though they had given him a cot and a bed, etc., he would sleep on the floor with maybe just a thin sheet or so. And his acharya in those early 80s or late 70s, said to him, "Why do you do that?" He said, "No, I am a yogi. I have come from a yoga gurukula." And in the Vedanta class also, I don't know whether the Acharya, previous Acharya who said it, added this humor to it. It seems in the Vedanta class also, this boy from yoga background would suddenly start some pranayama, closing the eyes, and who would not listen to what is Vedanta. And because of that sleeping on the plain floor, and Bombay, normally known to be very hot, especially in olden days, it used to be pretty cold in December, January, on some nights or some mornings at least. He developed some back pain and some, I don't know the medical names. Poor fellow, then he could not sit properly in the classes. He had to take a back support. All that. Why all that? So, in whatever way, all of us have different forms of doing this insistence, and that is absence of intelligence. So, reduce egoism, reduce attachments, reduce your dislikes. Swami Paramarthananji says, reduce or let go of port. I think I'm expanding it rightly. Maybe one of them is a bit different. But something like port is an acronym he coined. P means possessions. Don't collect too many possessions. At as early as possible, find some method of letting go of those possessions. I myself need to do it for last 1 or 2 years. I have not found time. I should. People give clothes, dhotis and shirts and stitched or unstitched or some strange kind of shirt they give. I never wear that type of shirt. And I'm busy with many things. I don't throw out of the window. I'll give it to some right person. So the right time, the right person, but they are in my possessions. If I clear all those things which I don't need at all for next 10 years, I will have a lot of free space in my cupboards. But right now my cupboards are filled with things. It may be useless electronic wire and some adapter and all sorts of things. So when I do webinar, I ensure that my cupboard is not seen by the participants of these online classes. Somebody asked me from America, you give lectures and you seem to be so well organized and so calm and so well prepared. What is your secret? I told him, it's only during the lecture that I am organized and I appear to be very orderly. Please come and see me. So many things need to be. So Paramarthananji says, port, let go of port. P is possessions. Don't possess. In I think America, they have what is called garage sale. They put out things on Saturday and Sunday outside or in the garage. Neighborhood can come and pick up things for a very throwaway price. So we must do garage sale of our possessions. Obligations. We should not either feel obliged to too many people, nor should we encourage people to be obliged to us. Let them free, and you be free of them. Little obligations are unavoidable, but don't feel obliged to everybody for something they did for you at some time. Just offer a prayer to God. That lady did this for me. God, please bless her. Don't take upon yourself. I must do something for her now. She spent 4 hours when I was in Delhi, showed me Qutub Minar and then saw me off at the railway station. So when she comes to my town, Bhopal, I will also spend 4 hours. Unfortunately, there is no Qutub Minar here, but there is something else. I will take her there. Don't be so stupid. Returning the good that somebody did to you doesn't have to be identical. So find out ways. Also, how she looks at you and how you look at her are different. She looks at you like an uncle. You are 12 years older to her. The niece does something for the uncle. An uncle should need not do the same thing for the niece. So there are so many things to be examined, and a lot of us live an unexamined life. Some of you know this expression, unexamined life, is part of the famous saying of Socrates. He says towards the end of his talk, before taking that poison and dying, an unexamined life is not worth living. When our life is not examined enough, there are so many contradictions and we suffer. So Swami Paramarthananji is 100% right. Reduce your obligations. Reduce your relationships. Don't be proud that on Facebook you have 730 friends. Instagram, 845 follow you. Do you know that after all this Facebook and Instagram followers increased, in your own town nobody comes to visit you? Or if they visit, you don't open the door for them? Many are such cases too. So reduce relationships. Nothing is to be taken literally. Think about it. Examine your life. Do you have unnecessary relationships? Reduce your transactions. Because all transactions, buying and selling and calling him and he calling you, calling her and she calling you, and going to their party at their home and then to reciprocate, announcing a party at your home and calling everybody. In the process, you will be so tired. So, reduce all kinds of transactions. Reduce through viveka, intelligence, not by putting some rule on the wall. And as we have said in this slide, apply this to speech, sleep, food, writing, reading, lecturing, traveling, advising others, or going to too many people for advice. Everywhere. See, anashnan, anyo, abhichākasheeti seems to be said for you and me. Every one of us has this ashnan. Ashnan gives us some kick. We speakers, we talk at some college, we feel very good. But that day and nothing else we could do. So much pending work is all left behind. So in everything, don't do things just for a kick that you get. Kick meaning, instant gratification. Meanwhile, the whole of your life has got messed up a little more. Or somebody truly in need of some help is told, come another day. A hungry man was waiting. You are rushing towards some place. Come another day. That hungry man looks at you. I don't know whether I will be alive another day. I'm so hungry. Say, no, that Rotary Club is honoring me today. I'm already late. You come another day. We want honor and felicitation and for a garland that somebody is going to put upon our neck. We forget some act of compassion. Therefore, apply this to speech, sleep, and food. The slide says, oh, I have not even entered Shankara Bhashya. Anyway, it's not much. See, anashnan abhichākasheeti. Before that, tayoranya pippalam swaduvatti. Shankaracharya says this. One bird eats fruits of all kinds. That symbolically means karma nishpannam sukha dukkha lakshanam phalam. It is caught in the karma phalas, and because of lack of viveka and vairagya, this bird is, or this jivatma is unable to get out of these things. And swadu also means here aswadu. Sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter. In real life, bitter fruits are more. Aneka vichitra vedana swadarupam swadu asti bhakshayati upabhunkte avivekataha. I have given a special color to that word if you notice. Avivekata, that's not there in the mantra. Shankaracharya adds, the first bird is unhappy most of the time because it is eating all kinds of fruits and doesn't know where to stop, what to eat. It is caught in a habit, avivekata, because of lack of careful self-examination. Now comes the part we are especially seeing. Anashnan anyaha, the second bird, that is not Jivatma. On this I have given 2 or 3 lectures in the beginning of this series. Both the birds, what they represent and so on. The second bird is Ishvaraha, Anashnan anyaha, Ishvaraha, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavaha, is ever free. Sarvajnaha, Sattvopadhihi. Ishvara operates in this universe through certain samashti upadhi, which is highly sattvic. Therefore, he is never bound. The upadhi, body, mind of ours, has rajas and tamas. Therefore, we suffer every now and then. Ishvaraha na ashnati, anashnan. He, by his very presence, prerayita hi asau. He is the prompter, not by even moving an inch, but without any moving. As the last word in this slide shows, Rajavat, a king comes and takes his seat. He doesn't even have to lift his hand. The dancer is waiting. Ministers, others are waiting. All of them, and they see he takes his seat, they take seats, they take their seats, and the dancer dances in an example. Rajavat. Prerayata hi asau ubayoho bhojya bhoktroho. I should have given this also a different color. Bhojya bhoktroho. He doesn't think of himself either as the bhojya, the object, or bhoktru, the enjoyer. I am neither the enjoyer nor the enjoyed. I am neither the subject nor the object. What are you then? Nitya sakshitva sattva matren. You want to do Vedanta meditation daily? Read a couple of such lines from Shankara Bhashya. If even a 50% of that meaning sinks in you, you don't have to meditate. You will go into meditation. Do Vedanta meditation by understanding certain profound comments of Adi Shankara. And I tell you, not only when you sit for that, but at odd times during the day, you will go into meditation. Somebody insults you, it pains you, but as you come out of his room, standing maybe outside in the corridor, you feel bad that he insulted you, but next moment Shankara's words rise in your mind. Wait a minute. Who insulted? Who is insulted? Am I not the consciousness, pure consciousness, Nitya Sakshi, in which this thought, it's a thought, this thought, I got insulted today, is rising. Why should I worry about this thought? Thoughts rise and thoughts fall. Dust rises and dust falls. So if there is a little chair there, sit on it and take a deep breath. So so See, it's prompted by your little study. Abhichākasheeti means pashyati eva kevalam. Darshana matram hi tasya prerayitritvam rajavat. Just darshana here means seeing. He beholds, he remains as the awareness. Therefore, I conclude this presentation by repeating the slide that I showed in last episode. This slide was there, it applies here also. This great thinker of last century, great seer, Jiddu Krishnamurti, talked of awareness. And not many understood when he said this awareness is passive awareness. People have an allergy to passivity. They want to be active. Ashnan, everybody wants to ashnan. But anashnan, passive. Be aware. You don't have to do anything. Be aware. Notice your hurt. Notice your pride. Don't even label it. I'm proud today. Then you are not passive. You are active. Another day, if somebody praised you, you say, I'm so happy today. See, today, from morning onwards, people, and I'm watching these thoughts. I'm watching this thought. What watching? Even as you are watching, you are putting labels, you are exhausting your vocabulary, saying, I am good, I am bad, I am fine, I am meditating well today. That's all activity, ashnan. Anashnan, just seeing, abhichākasheeti. And I had shared this quote last time. If you begin to understand what you are, your lust, your greed, your egoism, whatever, all of us have various mental conditions with which we identify. The best way of explaining it is you may be reading 300th page of a 500-page book on non-violence and enjoying the book. How nicely. Meanwhile, you are very angry with somebody who criticized you for reading this book. And if I see him tomorrow, I will punch his face. That thought is rising in you. So Krishnamurti says, I don't think of yourself as great because you are reading a 500-page book on non-violence, but notice the violence and the dislike and the revengefulness and tit for tat thought that is rising in you about somebody. That is what you really are. What you are, if you begin to understand, don't condemn without trying to change it. By that passive awareness, I became aware. I was aware. And change began, you will say. So, if you begin to understand what you are without trying to change it, then what you are undergoes a transformation. Something puzzling, but this is a wonderful commentary on anashnan anyo abhichākasheeti. Om Namah Paramarashibhyo Namah Paramarashibhyaha.